My name is Tess. I'm from New York.
I'm Alana. I grew up in Sydney, I suppose.
Eric, I'm from the Netherlands.
Ben Hield, grew up in New York area.
And Guillermo, I grew up in Spain.
Hi, my name is Katie, also known as Insider PhD.
I've been hunting on Bugcrowd platform for about 5 or 6 years. I started during my undergrad, and then going through undergrad and graduate school, I paid my way through school using just bug bounties. And then after school, I got a good job at Bugcrowd.
Since 2019, which is when I found that vulnerability.
I signed up 2018. Bugcrowd just have some good private programs like Wild Scope. That's what I like about it.
I've probably been hunting on Bugcrowd since like 2020, 2021. Honestly, the pandemic has meant my years have kind of blurred together a little bit. It was during the pandemic.
Since I started, I never stopped, so like 3 years straight.
It's just a thing on the side, like 8 to 10 hours a week, mainly just for fun, to get my technical kicks on, really.
I only hunt part-time. When I was between school and work, when I was doing that, I hunted full-time while I was looking for a job. And I think hunting for bounties and getting them published, like public disclosure, really helped me to get a job. I published a bunch of blogs about like write-ups on my vulnerabilities through Bugcrowd and HackerOne. And I think that really helped me get a job, actually. So.
Until the Bug Bash, I didn't realize how many of my friends did bug hunting. It's kind of reminded me of the old days when I used to work for a company, and like as a team we used to like all collaborate on red teams. It was so much fun.
First of all, for me, the social stuff, that's the most awesome. We get to meet people face to face. Finally, you know, match a face to an avatar or username that we've been in touch with for so long. So that's definitely the best thing so far.
My favorite moment is when somebody else had done like social engineering and we were all crowded around his laptop giving him ideas about what to do next and like how to abuse it. That ended up being like really fun because we were just sitting there like brainstorming how he could be the most evil with the access that he had.
Social engineering, it's been fun to be allowed to try to find ways and socially engineer passwords out of employees and be able to take that as far as I want. And MGM has been super nice about like letting us take it as far as we want. So that's been really fun. And I think I found some cool stuff with the social engineering.
Just hearing about like friends riffing off each other, like just from ideas, I don't know, it just reminded me of like working in a team rather than having a consulting company, having to do all the business stuff.
Interaction with people, the hackers, the Bugcrowd team, you have like details of fun and jokes, and it was very fun.
I do have some bugs, like some criticals, and the favorite one, I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it on the camera, but it's kind of critical, like personal information, so it's fun.
Yeah, I found one on Indeed, but it's disputed at the moment, so we're just waiting to see what happens with that. But it was really juicy, so I'm hoping for a good payout though.
Yeah, so I found a couple of bugs. I found a couple ways of doing social engineering and like a small technical part of it to access employee accounts, and like once you have access to one employee account, you can access all the other ones. So yeah, I'm hoping that gets me a good payout and hopefully some good impact there.
Yeah, probably some PII, finding like a few secrets, things that they will like to see.
I have not got any bugs yet, but it's been kind of cool just to listen to like other people's findings, and kind of funny to see like how close I actually was to getting some of the things. Like sometimes people will like talk about some of the bugs they found, and it's like, why didn't I check that? I could have got that bug as well. But you know, that happens at these events.
I found that sometimes when customers were sort of downplaying issues, they were there to back me up and to make sure that everything gets like the proper attention it deserves. So that's really cool. And it's also nice that you get to meet like the same Triage people every time, so you sort of start to know them and you have some interactions outside of the Bugcrowd program as well.
The Triage team is all great. I really respect what they do. I don't think they get enough credit, the Triage team. So.
Yeah, they've been really good. I've known a few of them before, I guess, this event. They've been super lovely, everyone I've talked to. And also Adam really likes the stickers. He's quite good at making the stickers as well.
Triage team, I wanted to meet Tal Bugcrowd. Oh, he's my favorite triager, and the rest, they're good.
Oh, I love the Bugcrowd Triage team, but also I used to work with them. They are doing like God's work at the moment with their work, and you can't help but like feel a lot of empathy towards how difficult it is to come to one of these live events and actually, triage bugs on such a tight time limit, to be working kind of like 12-hour days. Like, it's a lot for them. So I'm always really appreciative of their work, and particularly at bug bashes where the stakes are even higher.
And you don't have too much interaction because you can't in the platform. But after you find them in the real life, it's like, hey man, it's you. And they are great, always nice work. Also, not only the Triage team, but you have the mediation team, you have Codingo, Vortex, Jeremy, Tal is like very happy with it.
There's a lot of sharing information about the tools everybody uses, and that's really cool because like a tool is something you need to invest time in to really get the most out of it. So it's very interesting to hear what tools other people use and how it helps them to get a better workflow.
The guys are the best, so every time you learn something new is like the best thing to do.
I've learned how to set up phishing campaigns. Me and some other researchers were brainstorming ideas for social engineering. I learned a ton about API security, but mainly I've just been learning a lot about the other hackers. Like, it's been quite a social event for me, really.
One researcher and I have been like collaborating on the phishing and social engineering attacks, so I think we've passed some knowledge back and forth on how to do things, and I think we've learned a lot from each other.
Typically, I look for wild scope programs and I go after specific CMSs.
Well, as more of a hardware, binary and reverse engineering specialist, that's the kind of bug hunting I do. It's always fun, especially when there's like a package at my doorstep with a piece of hardware that was sent to me by Bugcrowd to look at.
Mostly web and mobile applications, and I found a couple things that are some high severity. Usually I look for things that leak personal PII, personal information about users, because usually that's kind of stuff is what gets accepted and what gets a higher payout.
So mainly web. I do a bit of infrastructure as well, and a bit of I generally do the social engineering and reconnaissance part of red teams.
So my bug hunting style is quite chaotic. So with a lot of the findings, I tend to look for things like APIs, and look for things that kind of are within my areas of expertise. But then again, I'm also looking for things that are completely outside of that and something new, because I find hacking is most fun when I'm being challenged to try new things.
I like to hunt mostly critical bugs, so I prefer the P1, P2 bugs. I like SRF because it's a kind of bug which allow you to have a more deep access of some kind of information. Sometimes you have to prove the impact, so you have to show internal access, which I like, and remote command execution for sure.
Well, I haven't used the Bugcrowd platform as much as everyone else, but I find it's a very smooth, well laid out website, I find, and also I like dark mode.
They have triages all over the world, so when I report a bug, I know someone from Australia would go online and someone from Europe would go online, so that's the best part. You have people from all around the world, so it's like 24-hour access to Bugcrowd.
I like it how the researcher success team is really working very hard to enable me to grow, which is good, well, for Bugcrowd and for me, of course, because they get to match me with interesting clients and I get to learn new stuff from that as well. I really like that we're using Slack now for instant communications with both the Bugcrowd team and with clients. It's really make communication a lot easier, and it's made everything well more fun to have direct interaction.
I think Bugcrowd programs have a tendency to reward for what they call like secondary targets. So that's either like, so programs usually have like a main domain that they want to make sure is absolutely secure, and then secondary targets that they, you know, it's not as impactful usually if something gets breached on those sites. But I think that gives a lot of opportunities for people who are bug hunting to find really cool stuff on secondary targets, and may not pay out as well, but there might be more opportunities because people are mainly focusing on like the main scope site.
I think my favorite thing about Bugcrowd is like how well the like staff actually are like involved in the community. Quite often in really any like InfoSec company, there tends to be a kind of almost like a disconnect between like the general InfoSec community and the company. But Bugcrowd, it's very much this like community focused, like people are on Twitter and you can tweet at them, and you know, people are active on Slack and you can just talk to them and they're really open if you want to chat. Or they make content and videos for the community. So it really is like a community first approach. I think that's really different than quite a lot of other orgs end up being.
The people working in Bugcrowd, you have transparency, you know exactly what is happening. If you have a problem, you can ping someone which will make it clear for you. Like, I think the people make Bugcrowd a nice platform and different platforms. So we have many, but you have to see what you like, and I like the people.
Well, I've never been in Vegas, and it's, for me personally, it's a bit over the top. I live in a small village, and everything here is really loud and flashy. But in a way, it has its charms. You know, it's interesting to be there for once. You know, to see what it's really like. And I have to say, it is like I expected. To be fair.
I will say the best part about Vegas is seeing everyone. This is the first time since 2019 that I'm actually seeing a lot of my friends. So it's been really great to just meet people. And though I don't really like the city, you know, when everyone's around for like Hacker Summer Camp and everyone's talking about hacking and talking about interesting stuff they're working on, everyone's going out for dinner, I'm meeting a lot of new people, I can't help but actually have a good time, regardless of how I feel about the city.
Vegas is crazy. Yeah, I love it. Overpopulated, I would say. Vegas, a lot of people, a lot of diversity, and party.
Looks like a very great city.
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas before, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I've gone to a couple of the MGM casinos and stuff like that. I pulled the lever on one of the slot machines, which is probably the extent of the gambling I'll do. But yeah, I just want the experience of just, you know, pull it up there. I lost like 3 times, and I was like, well, $3 gone.
I've been to Vegas before. I think I really appreciate the anonymity that comes with like just all the huge crowds. You get to like look at all the different types of people and see everything and just walk past it.
Tal is like every day the guy with triage your bag, so it's like, oh my god, I am seeing the guy in the other side, so it's very nice.
Some people who are in the triage team who are bug hunters now, it's really good to exchange like experiences.
Oh, Codengo. When I worked at Bugcrowd, I was talking to him a lot. I talked to him a lot even like outside of Bugcrowd. I talked to him on Twitter a lot. Like we DM all the time, and actually meeting him in person for the first time was really, really cool.
It's nice to meet some of the cool bug bounty researchers that I haven't met before, but I've read sort of their write-ups and different things online.
I think they've been prepared really well. They had a big document with lots of information inside. I really like that. I really like the back and forth with them. And overall, it's been a really great experience to work with them.
Yeah, indeed, it's been cool. So they have a really big scope. They're doing all subdomains on 2 of their big main domains. So there's a lot of different applications to look at, a lot of different technologies that are being used on those applications.
It's like a dream because I personally like to hack or hunt in banks, and a casino is like a next level bank because you have the same things banks have, but much more.
I think the scope has been really interesting. It's been really fun to see a completely different side of hacking that I would never have been involved with previously. The hardware hacking the same has been really interesting as well because I I don't know anything about hardware hacking. And again, like that's so outside of my comfort zone that I have to learn, and it's always really exciting at these events to kind of get the energy of everyone around you and seeing what they've been working on. So it really creates this kind of learning atmosphere, which I love.
Yeah, hi, I'm Samantha Buck. I am a bug bounty engineer at Indeed. I've worked for Indeed for about 6 years now. Having a bug bash allows us to interact with the researchers that have been contributing to our bug bounties for years now. A number of submissions that have come through with the bug bash has been a great surprise. It is hitting all of our goals for how many submissions we wanted to get for this event. So happy that it's happening.
My name is Sasan Atari. I'm Director of Security Operations for Indeed. We see Bugcrowd as another arm of Indeed Security. We have used them in a number of occasions where we are either releasing new product or we have purchased a new product and we need to know what our risk is in the public eye. And so we have, I think, now had an 8-year relationship with Bugcrowd, and I think over that time we've spent somewhere close to $1 million worth of rewards. I don't have the exact numbers, but we have benefited significantly. Every time that we have a questionnaire come from a third party or from a potential customer, we always point out that we have as many as 10,000 security researchers working for us and in our outsourced arrangements.
It's been really fun. I've been able to collaborate with a lot of people and talk to a lot of people about like one specific target or problem.
It's really cool. It's really great to get to meet people in person. Both people I used to work with, but also quite a lot of the other hackers who I know by handle. And I'll be honest, I have not recognized anybody. I recognize their usernames, I have not recognized their faces, especially with masks on, so that completely obscures who they are to me. But no, it's been fantastic.
Just meeting with people, interacting with people, having a chat about, well, subject that everybody is really passionate about, because in the end, whatever subject you like, if you meet people that are interested in the same thing, there's bound to be some good conversations and fun, right?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. Hacking alone is nice, but when you are with everyone, it's very different. You are like switching the places. I am sitting here, later I go near or close to another guy, and the guys you see in Twitter sending amazing P1s, and you can exchange some information. I think it makes it better for everyone.
Yeah, it's a great event. I've gone to a few other live hacking events in the past, and I think the Bugcrowd has put on a good event. You guys have a lot of support and a lot of cool events. The outside events have been really cool, especially. Not a lot of other live hack events do that, so that was cool to do, especially to like explore the area.
Oh yeah, I think the number one thing was that the room has the triages in it, has the customer in it, and it has the hackers. So you can actually just like walk up to the triage table and just start talking to them. At quite a lot of the other events I've been to, it's been like the customers have like their own special zone that you're not allowed in, and they'll sometimes come out and walk around. But everyone's kind of working in the same space. It really lends itself to that kind of collaborative kind of environment, making it feel like, we're all in this together.
I got to see the team like physically. I see how they triage reports. Like, I used to believe that it's nothing serious, like you just get a report, you triage, you pay, but there's something serious. Like when you report a bug, like 5 people are reading your reports, you're having a conversation about it, so yeah.
I've been involved with live hack events before, not specifically Bug Bash, so there haven't been too many surprises. I do like what Bugcrowd does with the duplication window, so even if you have a duplicate, as long as it's in the pre-submission window, you still get paid out and it's like split between the duplicate people. I think that's pretty unique for live hack events. So that's pretty nice, because with so many top tier researchers at the event, it can be hard to find like impactful stuff, and so splitting it between everybody is kind of makes it a little fair. So.
Well, I didn't realize people worked in teams. So I only found that out once it started, and I was like, shucks, I should have, wasn't forward worked on that. And then I didn't realize a whole bunch of my other friends were doing it. So if I get to do it again next time, I will definitely join a team, because yeah, it's a lot more effective when you can do that.
Maybe the sheer amount of logistics that's involved. I think Rami really did an awesome job putting everything together, and he just keeps on surprising me with what he has organized and how smooth everything is running here.